So, how you assholes doing tonight?
Good. Alright.
Alrighty, there we go. You have to excuse me if I'm kind of tired. I had to wake up for this early 8 o'clock in the evening show. Sometimes it's hard to make those deadlines for me. I just started doing comedy. It's pretty tough. Ooh. Alright. I just started doing comedy. Yeah. This is the second time this has happened. Laugh at what you can hear. Whatever. So this is my first time doing, not my first time doing comedy, I'm starting. Son of a bitch. I'm starting doing comedy, and I was really lucky though. The first time I did comedy was a lot like the first time I had sex. There were strangers everywhere, and there was more guys than girls. So, it made me feel really comfortable. I was very at home. So, I realized, some of you probably didn't want to see comedy, whatever, don't think it's interesting or whatnot, but like I always say, sometimes you don't know you want something until it's forced on you. And that's what I told my girlfriend last night. Now, she didn't agree, but I'd already started, and a man finishes what he starts. I'm just joking, I don't have a girlfriend. I was just some girl in the hall parking lot last night. Don't worry about her, she's dead. So anyway, I asked for a lot of advice when I was trying comedy, like I went to a lot of my family members. I said, I'm going to try some stand-up. What advice can you give me? And my uncle said, Marcel, doing stand-up is like riding a bike. People without legs can't do it. So, some people say comedy comes from pain and suffering, and I think that's true because I have a lot of jokes about rape. That's not nice. They're all about my sister, though, don't worry. Well, she's a whore, but... And they say that, though. They say comedy comes from pain and suffering. The first time I heard that, I was a little offended. Because, my whole life people have been telling me I should be a comedian. I thought I was funny. Turned out everybody just felt bad for me. Like I'd ask a girl out and I'd be like, she'd be like, no, I won't go out with you, but you're really funny. Be at a job interview and they'd be like, no, Mr. Simmons, we can't hire you, but this application is hilarious. I'll just yell, whatever. Oh. You eat them? Let's just end that joke because it broke the flow. So, yeah.
Your mic.
Lovely. Wonderful.
Turn it on. Put it on.
Hello. Oh. Okay. Turn it on, asshole. Okay. Where was I? So, sometimes you find out things about your friends that you didn't know. Things that'll shock you. Like I found out one of my friends is a bad person recently. I found out because we were watching a movie, and about halfway through the movie I realized he was rooting for the villain, right? And that's not that bad, except that we were watching Schindler's List, so that's not good. I can't talk to him anymore. Oh man. So I was born and raised in Stockton. Born and raised here, but I left for a couple of years, and it was interesting because when we came back we saw how much the town had changed, because when we left Stockton it was a total pisshole. It was just awful, just terrible, but we came back a couple of years later and now it was a shithole, so that was cool to see how it had changed. Yeah, but we moved to Bismarck, North Dakota, which I don't know if anyone's ever been there, but that's the most boring town in all of the universe. It's just terrible. Oh, he knows. Okay. That's lovely. Yeah, that place is so boring, and like, people complain about Stockton being boring, but if they went to Bismarck, they would kill themselves, And people did. People killed themselves. When we were there, 14 people killed themselves while we lived in Bismarck, North Dakota. Now, which is weird, because, when people get bored over there, they kill themselves. When we get bored here, we kill each other. So, we're kind of self-important in California. Yeah. But it was so boring there. You could do whatever. Like people just didn't care, you know. Like there was a grocery store like a couple blocks down from my house that was in the middle of a residential area called Stoners. Cause fuck, you know, whatever. Cause like some pothead, you know, like got tired of going to the store every time he got the munchies and said, fuck it, let's be the store. You know? Cause then we won't have to leave, man. Yeah, it's pretty smart. No, yeah, but and then there's another place, swear to God, this is true. There's a bar in Bismarck, North Dakota called Dickheads. And it was named after the guy's dog. That's true. That's not a joke. Like, that's just the truth. Like, how much do you have to hate your dog to just call him Dickhead? Like, fuck it, that's your name, Dickhead. And eventually people got kind of outraged by the name of a bar called Dickheads. So they had to change it to Richard Craniums. That's pretty funny. Yeah. Oh, man. Does anybody else notice how loud commercials are getting? Like how loud, like, you know, you'll be watching TV and, you know, it's like, oh, we'll be right back after these messages. Click plugins! Okay, I can't hear the commercial if I'm bleeding from the ears. We'll be right back. Show me the Carfax! Isn't that nice? So Christmas just passed by, and that's pretty cool, you know. The weird thing is, a lot of the Christmas commercials, you know, they overlook like an entire demographic of people because, you know, they do commercials for kids, they go all buying toys and games, and they do commercials for women, they're like fucking, buy him a car, buy him a diamond, buy him a car made out of diamonds! You know. But they never say anything for Dad, and if they do, it's like, buy him a hammer, fuck him. You know? Okay, yeah, but they never, you know, say what Dad really wants, you know. So I think what they should do is they should have me do a public service announcement just to get the message out there of what dads and men really want for Christmas, you know. Like I just come on and be like, you know, there are a lot of presents given away during Christmas. A lot of people overlook fathers. A lot of people overlook what their husbands want. So ladies, this Christmas, when the children go to sleep, give your husband what he really wants. A blowjob. Wow, still working? Okay. We're chugging along. We're going to try and make this work. Gosh. You have to excuse me, I'm just going to pull out my list here. I know it's disappointing to know that I'm not spontaneous. So, you know, it's weird the way life will creep up on you. Life will do things that are, you know, pretty strange and sort of turn things around on you. I'll give you a good example. My mom is sick. You know, she's a sick lady and I got to take care of her. You know, and it's just kind of weird. Because, you know, this lady did everything for me. You know, she clothed me, she fed me. This lady changed my diapers. You know, and now she's older, she's frail, she's sick. And she still changes my diapers. And that's just weird. So I've been telling her for weeks, like, I don't gotta wear them anymore, I'm a big boy, but she won't listen. Let's see what else. Let's see. So a lot of little things annoy me, you know? Little things. I hate when people say, oh, I don't watch the news, it's too depressing. It's too depressing, I don't watch it. They never report on anything happy, you know, nothing good. It's like, well, that's not news, you know? But I think those people have sort of gotten through to the news and have started to influence it. Because I was watching the news the other day and they were like, 3 men were gunned down yesterday and the gunman is still large. But in other news, my nephew is so cute. Yeah. I think it's all about perception in life. I think it's all in the way you look at things. You know, but I think our perception gets kind of warped because we have, you know, the internet and TV and all this stuff. So sometimes we see things in a way that they just aren't, you know, we look at things in a fantasy perspective. I'll give you a perfect example. My brother, he has a friend on Xbox Live, like on the internet or whatever, who lives in North Carolina, right? And we live in California, and he's like dreams of coming to California, like it's so great here. And he's, boy, I lost track of that. Fuck. And okay, so he wants to come to California. Yeah, he says, oh, it's so great there. You know, everybody's just chill. Everybody just smokes weed and chills. Really. Meanwhile, I had to walk around a chalk outline just to get in here. That's a funny joke, but I fucked it up. That's okay. Alright, so as a comedian, as a comedian, you have to start strong and you have to finish strong. You can't just come up here, ramble, run into jokes, and be like, good night, everybody.